The Lakers no longer pose a threat to other teams like they used to. They haven't looked like a championship contending side this season, racking up losses you would never expect. We did some analysis, so keep watching to find out why the NBA LA Lakers are over with.
So I've been a Lakers fan ever since '80s. I'm a Magic Johnson, diehard Magic Johnson fan, and I just love the legacy that Kobe's keeping going with the Laker Nation.
Good old days. The Los Angeles Lakers have sustained a prominent reputation of being one of the most successful NBA teams for many decades now. Let's go over a brief review of their dominance in the past. They have had some all-time greats and world-class NBA players in their squad. Some notable stars would be Kobe, Jim Pollard, Shaquille O'Neal, Magic Johnson, and Wilt Chamberlain. Since its inception in 1947, the Los Angeles Lakers have set many records. They have the joint highest championships alongside Boston Celtics and have more appearances in the league than any other team. Just before the offseason of 2012, the Lakers set the record for the highest number of wins ever in the NBA. They also have the best all-time winning percentage, have won 17 NBA titles, and made the most NBA finals. These achievements and many more easily cement their place as one of the best teams in NBA history. Their dominance was evident since their early beginnings in the league. The Lakers switched to the Basketball Association of America in 1949 and won the championship that season, a sign of good things to come. After their first taste of a trophy, the LA team seemed hungry for more. By the following season, they won yet another championship title. However, their streak was cut short as they would lose to the Rochester Royals in the 1951-52 season. But that defeat seemed to hamper their consecutive streak, but for a while. The Lakers bounced back from the loss and went on to win 3 successive championships. They became a force to reckon with in the league, winning 5 championships in the space of 6 years. Clearly, the Lakers have a history of success.
That's it, fellas. We work all year long for it, man. Shaq the man, most dominant player in the world. Finally got one.
The dominance continues. The years went on and the league witnessed the LA Lakers continue to win. Their overwhelming dominance sparked the beginning of an exciting long-term rivalry against the Boston Celtics. The 1996 to 2004 season saw the Lakers form one of the greatest duo dynasties in the NBA. In 1996, the Lakers acquired then 17-year-old Kobe Bryant, and as the years progressed, he developed a deadly partnership with Shaquille O'Neal. Shaq was in his prime years and Kobe was an exciting prospect that instantaneously delivered. We do not even need to waste time describing how unstoppable Kobe was. He helped the Lakers to 2 consecutive championships, with Derek Fisher also playing a vital role in the victory. The 2001-2002 NBA Championship Series was genuinely breathtaking and exhilarating as teams fought for the title. Although the Lakers started the season strongly, they were a few seconds away from losing to the Sacramento Kings, but a late three-pointer kept the season alive. After pushing through to Game 7, they eventually claimed victory over the Kings in overtime and progressed to the finals. The game would undoubtedly be remembered as one of the best NBA championship games. The 3rd consecutive championship for the Lakers meant they became the first team to achieve such a feat in NBA history. Shaq also clinched his 3rd final MVP award, tied with Michael Jordan as the highest in NBA history.
And what can I say? Mamba out.
Passing the mantle. Following the success in the early 2000s, the Lakers looked to push for yet another championship, but started the season rather poorly. Unfortunately, the LA side, their center, Shaq, had to undergo a toe surgery that ruled him out for a while. However, it was during this period Kobe recorded his best ever seasons. He set various records, one of which was scoring the most points in a league month. Kobe was on fire all season, and the absence of Shaq was barely missed. Well, sort of. It seemed like Kobe could do only so much as the Lakers found it challenging to retain their crown. Time passed, championships were won, but soon Kobe would be retiring. After Kobe's retirement, the search for a new hero began, and on the 9th of July, 2018, the Lakers signed LeBron James. By the following season, they acquired Anthony Davis from the New Orleans Pelicans. Both LBJ and AD went on to form a dynasty that finally led the Lakers to the NBA Finals after a decade drought.
Not just because of their performance on the court, it's because of the excuses after the losses. Like, I don't want to hear about chemistry problems. Every single team in the NBA is dealing with the same issues that the Lakers are dealing with, whether that's not happening.
Signs of the end time. Let's get back to the modern era, shall we? June 2021, the Lakers failed to appear in the NBA Finals after their shocking early exit. Their 10-year reign and dominance of the championship ended in a first-round playoff defeat to the Suns team. It came as a shock to many fans and viewers as the Suns dealt LeBron's Lakers a 113-100 defeat, perhaps a sign that the reign of superiority is over. By the end of the season, the Lakers finished 7th on the Western Conference standings after a woeful campaign that saw them lose a lot of games. Okay, to be fair, the Lakers suffered injuries to various star players while LeBron remained their savior thanks to LeBron being LeBron. During the 2020-2021 regular season, the Lakers suffered many injury problems, especially to the integral players like Anthony Davis and later LeBron. Prior to these injury woes, the Lakers were a force to behold, winning back-to-back games. As a matter of fact, in the game AD sustained his injury, the Lakers were up 21-6. Since the injuries to their star players, the LA side has plummeted and struggled to handle teams. The postseason break spared the Lakers of further blushes, as that gave some time for their star duo to recover. In November 2021, LeBron's Lakers were 16th in the standings. It was the first time since 2008 that an LBJ team has been 500 or worse at that stage of a season. A fun stat gathered by the Elias Sports Bureau highlights just how bad the Lakers are performing. According to the stats, no NBA championship team in the league history has been 500 or worse after 20 games into a season. It might be unfair to harshly criticize the Lakers, considering they've had to deal with injuries to key players. Nevertheless, the team has been filled with all-star players since 2009, which translates to an aging squad likely not good enough to compete for the championship. A few weeks ago, the NBA stats showed that the Lakers had the 10th defense in the league. Shocking, right? That's really poor, considering the quality players they've got.
I expect the Lakers to fire Frank Vogel.
Wow. Man.
I am not advocating it
Right, for sure.
by any stretch of the imagination. I like Frank Vogel. Frank Vogel has been a top-notch defensive mind in the NBA.
Coaching dilemma. The injuries plaguing the Lakers has not really given coach Frank Vogel much to work with. This has resulted in constant rotations and tweaks, which have done no good but generate criticisms. Frank Vogel has been instrumental in their championship wins, so it is pretty difficult to understand why many people call for his firing. Frank's central criticism is his usage of the new signing, Russell Westbrook. In a game against the Memphis Grizzlies, Russell scored 19 points, added 5 rebounds and 3 assists, all under 26 minutes. While it's safe to say Russell hasn't really had the best season overall, Frank still gets a lot of stick for not giving him enough playing time. When asked about benching a star player in an important game, Vogel plainly answered, "Playing the guys that I thought were going to win the game." Well, the game didn't end up as Vogel thought, as the Lakers ended up losing 111-104. In the post-match conference, a frustrated Westbrook addressed his situation, saying, "I think the communication of what Vogel wants and how he wants it kind of changes because guys have been in and out of the lineup." Westbrook, man, that just keeps slipping out. Anyways, Westbrook told ESPN, "Everybody is trying to figure out what to do and how to do it. I try to put my head down and do the best that I can do for our team, and whatever is asked of me, I try to do it to the best of my ability. That's all I've been trying to do since I got here." Initially, fans were not too happy about him. It wasn't long until fans agreed with Vogel's decision after a horrible game by Westbrook against the Indiana Pacers, which ended in a loss.
LeBron do what he's been doing is unreal. It's just surprising because, 19 years in, he's still able to do what he's doing. So it's fun to watch. All of us is up cheering for him, and he get in these zones. I know you talked about it.
One-man team. Like legends before him, LeBron James has been carrying the LA Lakers on his back for many seasons now. Unfortunately, it looks like those days are over, and LBJ might develop a hunchback before the Lakers regain their frightening form. His versatility has proven an invaluable asset for them. Since his return from the injury this season, LeBron has continued to convince us that he will never have a slump in performance. His performances have kept him afloat with a few match-winning moments. However, it's looking like LeBron is already biting off more than he can chew. It wasn't long enough that the Lakers sparked further criticism after losing to the Sacramento Kings. Despite LeBron playing 50 minutes and bagging 30 points, 11 rebounds, and 7 assists, it wasn't enough to give his side the win. Losing to a side that has just fired their coach a few days before their game against the Lakers was simply unimaginable. But the Lakers just keep losing. 3-game, even 5-game losing streaks are becoming a pattern this season. The Lakers' defense let the team down with yet another abysmal performance as they crumbled in the second half and let the Kings back into the game. They really could do with a defensive threat like Anthony Davis at the back. There was hardly anything LeBron could do 2 in this game. He barely had any support from his teammate Russell Westbrook, who has had a herky-jerky stint since his trade. It's no surprise rumors have circulated in recent weeks touting the possibility of a trade. The Kings found joy running through Lakers veteran stars as they pushed for a winner to kill off the game. The loss was tagged the biggest loss of the LeBron James era. This begs the question, where does Los Angeles go from here?
Lakers are done, friends. They're done. It's over. History says it's over. And let me tell you why. They lost last night to Phoenix. Phoenix is so much better than they are, it's ridiculous. By the way,
is it finished? There's only so much a man can do. That's why the NBA is a team sport. LeBron is 37 years old, and it's just a matter of time before the effect of his immortality potion wears off. With the legendary NBA star gradually reaching the unavoidable end of his career, we wonder who's gonna keep the Lakers above water and how long before they drown. Do the Lakers trade everyone and start a rebuild? Is the performance this year a classic example of superstar teams not having enough chemistry to win? Fans have many questions, and it won't be long until the Lakers faithful start demanding answers from the organization.